Winners are not those who never fails, but those who never quit. This is very very important quotation for any competitive student having a good mind, good concept. You know about that. Why are losing to getting our success just because this statement. विनर्स वो नहीं है जो कभी फेल नहीं होते, बल्कि वो हैं जो कभी हार नहीं मानते। तो इसी कोटेशन के साथ आप सबों का बहुत बहुत अभिनंदन, स्वागत स्वागत स्वागत। आप सबों के साथ शुरू कर रहा हूँ मैं। क्विज सेक्शन में पूछूंगा मैं डिफरेंट क्वेश्चंस जो कि करंट अफेयर से जुड़े होंगे। बने रहिए इस चैनल में, देखते रहिए, सीखते रहिए, आगे बढ़ते रहिए। ऑल द बेस्ट। Consider the following statement with respect to UN High Sea Treaty. UN High Seas Treaty. The treaty concerns the ocean existing beyond the exclusive economic zones. The treaty has been negotiated under the High Ambition Coalition. Which are the correct? Think about it. About UN High Seas Treaty. I think only and only A is the right answer. You know, the proposed treaty, UN High Sea Treaty, concern the ocean existing beyond the exclusive economic zone that lie from the coast of the country to about 200 nautical miles, almost 370 kilometers into the sea. This is the concern. That is the relationship. Till where it has a special rights for the exploration. Waters beyond that are called as open sea or high sea. Beyond 200 nautical mile, it's called high sea or open sea. The treaty was to be negotiated. Yes, Kolya. So you understood about that. What is open sea? This is nothing but suppose this is 200 nautical mile, have exclusive rights of India or any country. But beyond this 200 nautical mile, this is called open sea. The treaty was signed or to be negotiated under the United Nations Convention on Law of the Sea UN Clause 1982, which govern the rights of the countries regarding the marine resources. Yes, of course. Negotiation involving 168 countries, including the European Union, to agree on a UN treaty for protecting ocean failed. Next question. Parak, Parakh. Parak in the context, what is this? Parak, Parak, performance assessment. Yes. The proposed regulator, Parak. Parak, that means performance assessment, review, analysis of knowledge for holistic development, which will a component unit of the NCERT. Will also be tasked with holding periodic limit or learning outcomes tests like National Achievement Survey (NAS) and State Achievement Survey. The government process a new regulator for uniformity in all boards exam. Arrange the following Pacific islands from south to north: Fiji, New Caledonia, Marshall Islands, Solomon Island. Such type of question should be a good concept about your map. If you don't know, don't think anything. So 2143 from south to north, from south to north, 2143. That means south to 143. Let's see the from the map. Here is the map of Micronesia, Polynesia, Melanesia, Solomon Island. Solomon Island has suspended visit from all the foreign navies, citing a need to review the approvals process after the US Coast Guard ship was unable to refuel its port. Consider the following statements. International Atomic Energy IAEA was created 1945 after math of the atomic bomb incident of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. World Energy Outlook is the annual report published by IAEA. In 2005, IAEA was Nobel Prize winner. Which are the correct? Which are the incorrect? So first statement is and second statement is incorrect. Widely known IAEA is widely known as the world's Atoms for Peace and Development organization within United Nations. The IAEA is the International Center for Cooperation in the Nuclear Field. IAEA was created in 1957 in the response to the deep fears and the expectation generated by the discovery and diverse use of nuclear technology. IAEA headquarters Vienna, Austria. International Energy Agency IEA released the World Energy Outlook Report 2021 published every year. The World Economic Outlook provides a critical World Energy Outlook provides a critical analysis inside the trends in the energy demand and supply. But this is released by International Energy Agency, not by IEA. In 2005, IAEA was awarded Nobel Prize for their work for the safe and peaceful world. A team of officials from the International Atomic Energy Agency arrived in Ukraine to assess the condition of the Zaporizhzhia या फिर Zaporizhzhia nuclear plant. Zaporizhzhia nuclear plant. Consider the following statement about the National Marriage Act SMA 1954. Special Marriage Act. The act requires the couple to give a notice declaring their intent to marry 30 days before their marriage. It allows any person to object the marriage within the 30 days of the publication of the notice. Within 30 days, this act applies not only to the Indian citizen but also to an Indian national who live abroad. Which are the correct? 1, 2, and 3. All our statements are correct. You know about that Special Marriage Act SMA? 1954 requires couple to give a notice declaring their intent to marry 30 days before the marriage. Special Marriage Act allows to any person to object the marriage within the 30 days of the publication of the notice, failing which marriage can be solemnized under section 7 subclause 2. This act also includes Hindu, Muslim, Christian, Sikh, Jain, Buddhist marriages. This act applies not only to the Indian citizens who belongs to the different caste or religions, but also to the Indian nationals who live abroad. The Supreme Court dismissed a writ petition challenging provision with the Special Marriage Act 1954. Consider the following statement about anti-radiation pills. Anti-radiation pills. They are the potassium iodide tablets which provides protection in the case of radiation exposure. Potassium iodide tablets achieve protection by the process of thyroid blocking. Which are the incorrect? Nothing, both are correct. Potassium iodide tablets या फिर anti-radiation pills are known to provide some protection in the case of radiation exposure. They contain non-radioactive iodine, can help the block absorption or subsequent concentration of radioactive iodine in the thyroid gland. The thyroid gland, which uses iodine to produce hormones to regulate the body's metabolism, has no way of telling radioactive from non-radioactive iodine. Potassium iodide tablets rely onto this achieve thyroid blocking. So thyroid blocking, potassium iodide. Potassium iodide kills pills taken a few hours before or soon after the radiation exposure ensure that non-radioactive iodine in the medicine is absorbed quickly to make the thyroid full. But potassium iodide pills are preventive only and cannot reverse any damage done by the radiation to the thyroid gland. With the fears of the nuclear disaster at Ukraine's Zaporizhzhia power plants growing, the European Union has decided to preemptively supply 5.5 million anti-radiation pills to be distributed among the residents in the vicinity. Consider the following statement about Index of Industrial Production (IIP). It is compiled and published by per month by NSO, National Statistical Office. Base year is 14-15. 8 core in sector comprises 40% of the weight of the items included in IIP, which are the correct. I think two should be out of them, only in 1 and 3. IIP is a indicator, measure the changes in the volume of the production of industrial products during a given period. It compiled and published by normally per month by NSO, Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, Miss, Miss, Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, Miss Mosby. Base year is 11-12. This comprises 40% almost the weight of the items included in the Index of Industrial Production (IIP). The 8 core sector industry in decreasing order. That means refinery, electricity, steel, refinery, electricity, steel, coal, crude oil, natural gas, and last one, cement and fertilizer. Growth in the output of the eight core infrastructure sector decelerated sharply for a second straight month of the 6 month low. Next question about oncolytic viruses. Oncolytic virus. Oncolytic viruses are a form of immunotherapy that uses virus to infect and destroy the cancer cell. They cause cancer cells to burst, which releases cancer antigens to eliminate any nearby tumor cells. Which are the correct? About onoclitic viruses? I think only and only C because both statements are correct. Oncolytic viruses. Oncolytic viruses are the form of immunotherapy that uses virus to infect and destroy the cancer cell. They selectively targets and kill the cancer cell while sparing normal ones. After infection, these oncolytic virus can cause cancer cell to burst, the killing the cancer cell and releasing cancer antigens. These antigens can then stimulate immune responses that can seek out and eliminate any remaining tumor cells nearby, potentially anywhere else in the body. Context: the body immune capacity against the cancer to recognize and destroy the cancer cells can be boosted by using oncolytic viruses. Consider the following statement about narcotic drugs and psychotropic substance 1935. All the offenses under the narcotic drugs and psychotropic substances are non-violable. All offense non-violable. No relief can be sought by the drugs convicts by the termination, remission, commutation of sentence passed. How is possible? Narcotics and Control Bureau. Nodal drug law enforcement works under the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. Read Ministry of Health and Welfare, which are the correct. I think only and only 1 and 2 is the right because NDPS Act, Narcotic and Drug Prohibited Substance Activities or Act prohibits the person from the production, manufacture, cultivation, possession, sale, purchasing, transport, storage, consumption of any narcotic drug or psychotropic substance. All the offences under the NDPS Act are non-violable. It's non-violable. Non-violable. No relief can be sought by the drug convicts by termination, remission, commutation, or of sentence passed. Narcotic Control Bureau is a nodal drug law enforcement intelligence agency in India responsible for fighting the drug trafficking and abuse illegal substance. It functions under the Ministry of Home Affairs (MHA) के तहत आता है MHA. It is headquartered in New Delhi. Karnataka High Court recently observed that nowhere in Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances (NDPS) Act is bhang referred to as a prohibited drinking or prohibited drugs. Seravac vaccine recently in news prevention of cervical cancer. Union Ministry of State Science and Technology announces India's first indigenously developed vaccine, Cervavac, Cervavac for the prevention of cardiac cancer. Carva, Caravac, Cara, Ceravac है, Caravac है, Caravac back, Cerva, Cerva, Cervavac was developed by the Pune-based Serum Institute of Indian coordination with the Government of India's Department of Biotechnology. India's first indigenously indigenously developed vaccine, Ceravac, for the prevention of the cervical cancer. About Crime Mac Portal, Crime Mac Portal, recently in news. What is this? Crime Act was launched in 2014 by MHA. It functions under the aegis of the National Crime Record Bureau (NCRB). It shares the information on the crime and the criminals 24 by 7 with the various law enforcement agency. Okay, crime back only and only C is the right answer because 2 and 3 is the right. Launched by 2020 by Ministry of Home Affairs. Recently launched किया गया. Implemented by the application that is run by the National Crime Control Bureau. Aim to share information on crimes and criminals by 24 by 7 the various law enforcement agency to ensure the seamless flow of information among them. At least 7 states and union territory have not uploaded a single alert on Crime Multi-Agency Center (CRIMAC) portal since it was launched in March 2020. Consider the following statement about Indo-Pacific Economic Framework for Prosperity (IPEF). IPEF. Along with India, USA, and all ASEAN country, USA, India are ASEAN countries, members of the framework. Trade and tax and anti-corruption among the four pillars of the framework. Trade, tax, anti-corruption. Under the framework, developed countries have agreed to provide a financial assistance to $100 billion to the developing countries to of the framework. Which are the correct about this? Incorrect. Which are the incorrect? Only and only 1 and 3 are incorrect. Indo-Pacific Economic Forum, a framework. Indo-Pacific Economic Framework, launched by United States in 2022. Except Cambodia, Laos, and Myanmar, other Southeast Asian are the part of Indo-Pacific Economic Framework. IPEC has a four pillar: trade, supply chains, clean energy, decarbonization, and infrastructure, and tax and anti-corruptions. There is no such measure कि हम किसी को मदद करेंगे आर्थिक रूप से, ऐसा कोई उद्देश्य नहीं है इस पैनल के तहत. Commerce and Industry Ministry to visit San Francisco to attend the first ever in-person ministerial meeting of the Indo-Pacific Economic Framework. Spark program is recently. What is this? It's a support innovative research in Ayurveda. Spark. Central Council of Research in Ayurvedic Science CCRAS has taken a unique initiative to support the researchers effort to bright young minds of the country by developing the studentship program for Ayurveda research for Ayurveda students staying in recognized Ayurveda colleges. Consider the following statement. All the survival cancer cases are linked to the certain strains of the human papillomavirus virus, which is transmitted through the sexual contact. Survival cancer is transmitted through the sexual contact. The body's immune system usually gets rid of the HPV infection naturally within the 3 months. Ceravac is India's first indigenously developed quadrivalent human papillomavirus vaccine against survival cancer. Choose the correct. Only three. Only two. Which are the correct? One, two, and three. No, so only one and three. Almost all survival cancer cases are linked to a certain strain of human papillomavirus, papilloma virus (HPV), a common virus that is transmitted. HPV is transmitted through the sexual contact. The body's immune system usually gets rid of HPV infection naturally within the 2 years. In a small percentage of the people of the virus can linger one over time and turn some of the normal cell into the abnormal cell and then cancer. Ceravac is India's first indigenously developed quadrivalent human HPV vaccine for the prevention of cervical cancer. Ceravac was developed by the Pune-based Serum Institute of India in the coordination with the Government of India's Department of Biotechnology. HPV vaccine are given in the two doses, and data has shown that the antibodies that had developed after both are administered can last up to the 6 or 7 years. Which of the following favorable condition for the formation of tropical cyclone? Upper divergence above the sea level system, small variation in the vertical wind speed, presence of Coriolis forces enough to create a cyclonic vortex, upper divergence only. Which are the correct? C is the right answer. 1, 2, and 3. Condition for favorable for the tropical cyclone formation: large sea surface temperature higher than 27 degrees Celsius, presence of Coriolis forces enough to create a cyclonic vortex, small variation in the vertical wind speed, pre-existing weak low pressure area and low level cyclonic circulation, upper divergence above the sea level system. Okay, next question. Consider the following statement about National Legal Service Authority. नालसा के बारे में पूछा जा रहा है. NLSA. Its objective is to provide free and competent legal service to the weaker section of the society on the basis of the equal opportunity. The second senior most judge of the Supreme Court of India is the executive chairman of the authority. It issues the guidelines for the State Legal Service Authority to implement the legal programs and schemes throughout the country. Which are the correct about NALSA? I think first statement, two statement, all are right. Let's see. NALSA was founded in 1995 under the Legal Service Act 1987. NALSA was founded in 1995 under the Legal Service Authority Act 1987 to monitor and review the effectiveness of the legal aid, the programs, and the develop rules and the principle for providing the legal service under the Act. It also distribute the funding, the grants, the state legal services authorities, and not-profit organization to help them, the executive level aid system and initiatives. Also funding the Chief Justice of India is the patron in chief of NALSA, patron in chief, while the second senior most judge of the Supreme Court of India is the executive chairman. Executive chairman is Supreme Court of India का second judge होगा वही. It issue it issue policy, principle, guidelines for the state legal services authority to implement the legal programs and scheme throughout the country. Supreme Court Judge D.Y. Chandrachud has been nominated as the executive chairman of the National Legal Service Authority. Consider the following statement about liquid nano urea. Liquid nano urea. Indian Farmers Fertilizer Cooperative Limited, IFFCO, introduced the world's first nano urea liquid for farmers across the world. Conventional urea is effective just 30 to 40% in delivering nitrogen to the plants, while the effectiveness of the nano liquid urea is about 80%, which are the incorrect. I think nothing incorrect. It is indigenous urea introduced by firstly by the Indian Farmers Fertilizer Cooperative Limited (IFFCO) for the farmers across the world. It is a urea in the form of nanoparticle. It is a nutrient liquid to provide nitrogen to the plants as an alternative to the conventional urea. It is developed to replace the conventional urea, and it contain curtail the requirement of some at least 50%, curtail the requirement of the same by 50%. Conventional urea is effective just 30 to 40% in delivering nitrogen to the plants, while the effectiveness of the nano urea liquid is about just about 80%. PIB reported on the news report on the fast tracking approvals for the nano urea with incomplete trials is misleading and presents partial view of the existing facts that data available on the subject. Consider the following statements. Treaty on Prohibition of Nuclear Weapons, the first legally binding international agreement to comprehensively prohibit nuclear weapons. All the permanent members of the UN Security Council have certified or ratified Comprehensive Test Ban Treaty that bans the all nuclear explosion everywhere, anywhere, everywhere. Where is the right? I think know about that CTBT. It's a not A is the right answer. Treaty on Prohibition of Nuclear Weapons. The nuclear weapons have not successfully negotiated a treaty on prohibition of nuclear weapons. That is also known as TPNW, called Ban Treaty in 2017 that entered into the force in January 2021. The The Comprehensive Test Ban Treaty (CTBT) was concluded in 1996. Concluded in 1996. That to formally enter. That to formally enter into the force because two major powers, US and China, have had to ratify it. CTBT is a treaty banning all nuclear explosion everywhere by everyone. The treaty will enter into the force after all 44 states listed in Annexure 2. The treaty will ratify it. The state had nuclear facilities at the time of the treaty was negotiated and adopted. The 10th Review Conference of the Parties to the Treaty on Non-Proliferation of Nuclear Weapons (NPT) concluded recently and delegates the failed to agree on the final document. Consider the following statement about inflatable aerodynamic decelerator (IAD). Inflatable aerodynamic decelerator (IAD). It is a indigenously developed air defense mechanism by the DRDO. The decelerator in the system helps identify the acceleration of the incoming missiles. IAD can identify the speed of both cruise and ballistic missiles, which are the incorrect. Of course, D is the right answer. 1, 2, and 3 all are correct. Nothing is incorrect. Inflatable aerodynamic decelerator or IAD. In short, is teaching is a technique used for an atmospheric entry payload. An inflatable envelope, an inflatant, anything that inflates envelope like air or helium, make up the inflatable aerodynamics. While entering the atmosphere, it inflates like a balloon and decelerate the lander. The inflatant is designed to fill the inflatable envelopes to a condition such that it is surrounded the payload meant to enter the atmosphere of the planet or satellite and causes aerodynamic forces to slow it down. In simple words, IAD is designed to increase the drag upon entering the atmosphere of any planetary body like Earth, Mars, or even Moon. It says is maintained by a closed gas pressure body. This is packet condition. It's a developed condition. Wow. Indian Space Research Organization (ISRO) declared its first successfully demonstrated the new technology with inflatable aerodynamics decelerator. Sumang Leela Festival is traditional where it is formal theatre in celebrated in Sumang Leela. It's Manipur. Sumang Leela is a traditional form of theatre in Manipur, and roles of the female artists are all played by male actors, and male characters are played by female artists. In the case of female theatre groups, Sumang Leela Group's early stage attempt to preserve and promote humanism, toleration, confidence, devotion, truth, justice through their performances. The present day Sumang Leela have been trying to focus on the issue of moral values, unity, and integrity. Consider the following statement about Martanda Temple. It was built by King Hars, the first Lohra dynasty in 725 AD. The temple is dedicated to Vishnu Surya, a historical source of Kashmir history. Rastrangani, content descriptor, son of Martangan Ganjuar. The temple is influenced by the classical Greco-Roman Buddhist Gandhara and North Indian style, which are the correct about Martanda temple. It's Surya, only and only 2, 3, and 4. Martan temple was built by Karkota dynasty, King Lalita Aditya Muktapida, who ruled Kashmir. Dedicated to Vishnu Surya, Martan temple has a three distinct chambers: Mandapa, Garbhagriha, and Antralaya. Probably the only three-chambered temple in Kashmir. A major historical sources of Kashmir history remains Rastarangani, written in 12th century by Kalhan, and the various translation of the work contains description of Martand lands Ganjuar. The temple is influenced by classical Greco-Roman Buddhist Gandhara and North India styles. Some pilgrims offered prayers inside the Martand temple. An archaeological survey of India protected ASI monuments. Consider the following statement: the contempt of court motion can be brought by a private citizen. When a motion is brought by a private citizen, the consent of Attorney General is required. The court can order attachment of the property if it is satisfied that the alleged contemner is likely to abscond or evade judicial proceeding, which are the correct about contempt of court. I think only and only B is the right answer. One, 2, 3, all are correct statement. The Contempt of Court Act 1971 lays down some guidelines about the contempt of court. Section 15 of the Contempt of Court legislation describes the procedure on the how a case for the contempt of court can be initiated. In the case of the Supreme Court, the Attorney General or the Solicitor General, and in the case of High Court, the Advocate General may bring in a motion before the court for initiating a case in criminal contempt. However, the motion can be brought by a private citizen as well as, and in such cases, the consent of Attorney General or Advocate General, as in the case may be, is required. Motion can be brought by a private citizen as well as. If the court is satisfied that the alleged contemner is likely to abscond or evade judicial proceeding, it can order attachment of property of a value that it deems reasonable. Wow. Attorney General has declined a request for a consent to initiate a criminal contempt for the court proceeding against the senior advocate Kapil Sibbal for a certain remarks that he made during a speech on the subject of the judicial rollback of the civil liberties. Consider the following statement about polysaccharides. They are also called glycan, the form in which the most natural carbohydrates occur. Polysaccharides are the used in coating vegetables and fruits to keep them fresh. Which are the correct? Which are the incorrect? I think D, neither one nor two. They are also called glycan, in the form of which the most natural carbohydrates occur. Glycon. It's a glycan. Polysaccharide may have a molecular structure that is either branch or linear. Linear compounds such as cellulose often pack together to form a rigid structure. Branch form generally are soluble in water and make paste. Researchers at IIT Guwahati have developed a edible coating that can extend the shelf life of the fruits and vegetables. The specialized coating was created during using a mixture of two substances, some microalgae and polysaccharides. The extract is from the marine microalgae Dunaliella tertiolacta, which is often used as a source of algae oil, which is the health supplement that is a plant-based alternative to processed fish oil. Research at Guwahati have developed an edible coating that can extend the shelf life of the fruits and vegetables. Consider the following statement about PM Sri Yojana. The scheme aims to provide financial assistance to the rural self-help group. It is centrally sponsored. It also aims to form at least one self-help group in each village by 2024. Which are the correct about PM Sri Yojana? I think only and only two is the right answer. Which are the incorrect, incorrect? Which is the correct? Only A. Only two. On the occasion of the National Teachers' Day, Prime Minister announcement a new initiative that is PM Sri School, that is PM School for Rising India. This will be a new centrally sponsored scheme, upgradation and development of more than 14,500 schools across the country by the strengthening the selected existing school from among us managed by the central government, state government, UT government, local bodies. PM3 school will showcase all components of the National Education Policy 2020 and also and as act as an exemplar school and also offer a mentorship to the other school in their vicinity. The aims of these schools will not only to be qualitative teaching only learning and cognitive development, but also creating holistic and well-developed round all-round development individuals equipped with the key of 21st century skill. On the occasion of National Teachers Day, Prime Minister announced a new initiative, PM3 Schools. Paraguay, recently news. What is located? Paraguay. It's a C, Czech Republic. 7,000 students of the Czech Republic gathered at the heart of the nation's capital, Prague, in the protest against the government's failure to control the soaring energy prices. The protesters also openly voiced their anger against the NATO and the European Foundation. The demonstration held is being seen as the largest show of the public discontent in recent times against the cost living crisis that has deepened in the European amid the Russian-Ukraine war. Czech, Czech inflation is currently the highest in 1993. That is expected to touch 20% in the coming months. A key contributor to the double-digit inflation crisis is Russia's decision to cap gas supplies Europe, which has sent energy costs to the roof. Winners are not those who never fails, but those who never quit. Okay, all the best.